And so I got signed to Chicago. I basically had 2 workouts. I had Chicago and Seattle. Seattle, I came in. I wasn't really in good enough shape yet. They sent me home. Flew back to Jacksonville from Seattle. Yeah. Then I flew like the next day to Chicago. And for whatever reason, I did it. I had a good workout, and they signed me that day.
Yeah.
And I was like in tears in the office because I was like, do I really want this?
You were hoping they just send you home?
Yeah, kind of. A part of me was definitely like, I hope this is it. So they signed me. And that first year in Chicago was magical, man. I found my love for the game. I didn't have to be a starter. I was kind of the 6th man. I played a lot of monster tight end.
Swing man.
So I get like 20. And I became a really big part of the offense. I was like the glue for this offense because I'd come in 20 to 30 times as the monster tight end, have a ball. The offense was like the numbers, the success rates were way higher when I was in. They did this whole story. It was dope.
And Zach Miller. Zach Miller was there too, right? Zach Miller came from Jacksonville. Same kind of situation.
I think Zach came the next year.
Okay.
I think he came the end of that first year. And I fell in love with the game, loved the coaches. We had an unbelievable offense. It was a lot of fun to be in a place like Chicago after being in Jacksonville, a place that had a lot of great tradition.
Yeah.
And nothing against Jacksonville. It was a new team. It was a new, it was a very fresh organization. There wasn't like this tradition of football like there was in Chicago. George Halas, who started the Bears, was one of the first guys to start the NFL.
Yeah.
So there's amazing history there, and that was really cool to be a part of. And Walter Payton and fucking just legendary guys.
Oh yeah, dude.
Sure. That was it was a magical year. I found my love for the game. I came out of that year and I was like, because I had a 1-year deal there, and I thought, man, I might get some serious looks now in free agency. Didn't get shit. I didn't get shit.
Nothing.
I got calls from Andy Heck, who was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And he's like, Eb, it looks like you really found yourself again, bro. I'd love to bring you into Kansas City. I was like, Andy, I love you to death, bro. But, if I'm going to just sign another 1-year deal, I'm going to stay in Chicago because I like these guys now, and I'm not going to move my family fucking now
Helter-skelter everywhere.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So I was like, okay, so the Bears signed me back. And I came back that second year, man, and it all just fell to shit. The coaches, the fucking ego. There wasn't the same preparation. Everything was taken for granted. We're going to be great. We're going to do this and this. And, the head coach was just losing the team day by day. He was letting, Brandon Marshall, who I love Brandon. We used to he would fucking pick me up in his Mercedes-Benz bus and fucking drive me to practice in the morning because we were the only guys that lived in the city. Because after living in Jacksonville, I was like, fuck, dude, I'm in Chicago. I'm going to enjoy this shit.
Living in Chicago, baby.
I'm going to live in the city, even though it's 30 minutes away. And but like Brandon was he let Brandon miss the whole week and be out in New York shooting this Showtime show. And Brandon wouldn't be back at practice till Thursday or Friday.
Wow.
And then Brandon would be pissed because he's not getting balls.
Because he ain't getting the ball thrown to him.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, bro, what are we doing? So that all fell to shit. I actually got cut after the preseason. That second year in Chicago.
I didn't know that.
I got cut. I tore my hamstring like the second day of pads in training camp. Stepped in a fucking hole during one-on-one pass rush against Jay Ratliff. Tore my hamstring in half. It barely healed by the last preseason game. And then the O-line coach is giving me those like, you know, those like throw up in your mouth looks. And he's like, Eb, yeah, I really think you should play in this game. And I'm like, okay. I've had like 2 days back to practice, not even. And yeah, okay, I'll play in the fucking last preseason game so I can get my reps because I know now you motherfuckers are going to cut me.
Yeah. Dude.
So
that's
the
crazy.
day after, yeah, it was insane. So they cut me. Devastated.
Yeah.
Game 1, I'm with my wife and daughter in our apartment in Chicago, and I'm so fucked up because they're playing the game down the street, and I'm like fighting with my wife. I must have smoked a pound of weed in the morning just to like chill, just to try to feel normal.
Yeah.
I came home, I'm watching the game, and 3-0 linemen go down in the first half. The GM is calling me in the third quarter. Eb,
serious?
We need you back.
Evan!
Eb, where are you? I was like, I'm right here, motherfucker.
Right
I didn't
down
leave.
the street, I can hear the fucking screams from the stadium, you bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you. I'm here. They're like, Eb, we're going to sign you back this week. I was like, okay. So I signed back with the Bears, come back, and it's just all fucked up. Like, the energy wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everything was taken for granted. Like I said, the energy just wasn't there. The magic was gone. And week 8, it's our bye week. I go home, come home with my wife and daughter to LA because my high school is retiring my jersey. And I'm hit. My appendix explodes.
Oh, I've had that. I had that in college. Oh, my God.
Bro, and I have to, and it's Halloween night, and I like toughed it through the, I didn't know what it was. I thought I had like horrible food poisoning or something.
Exactly, yeah.
And I woke up, it was Halloween night, and everybody's like, dude, should we take you to the emergency room? And I'm like, no fucking way I'm going to the emergency room in LA on Halloween night. So, yeah, I tough it out till Sunday when we're supposed to get on a plane to leave. And I'm sitting there, and it's like 3 hours before we got to go to the airport. And I'm like, I'm still fucked. And I don't think I should get on the plane. I think I should go to the emergency room. So I go to the emergency room. They say right away, they're like, yeah, your appendix is ruptured. And we need to do emergency surgery right now.
Yeah.
To take it out. So I do that. I'm in the hospital for 5 days in LA. Meanwhile, our season has started back up again. Got to call all the people. They're like, holy fuck, that's insane. Finally get back to Chicago. I've lost like 30 pounds.
Ugh.
So now I'm like missing the next like month, you know, and to like get my weight back up and lift weights and get my body back in shape. And it was sometime in like the last couple weeks, and the season was gone. Like, coaches were already looking at the next job. You know, it's hysterical.
With Del Rio, when it's like, yo, it's week 5 and everybody's checking the fuck out.
Yeah, bro. Oh my God. That was another story. That was another story, bro. The day, because that was Jack's last year.
Yeah.
I was on IR with my back, and I'm watching the news one morning. They didn't want me coming into the facility, and they're like, head coach Jack Del Rio fired and Jaguars sold. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
I'll never forget that day, dude. Like, you know, we walk into the facility. This is before we got to play Baltimore on Monday night. Or no, not Baltimore. Before we got to play, I think it was either Baltimore or Indy, but it was a Monday night game.
Yeah.
And dude, I walk into the facility and I'm just like, why is it like a freaking morgue in here? Where's everybody at?
What's going on?
What's going on? And I see Jack come walking around the corner, and you know, Jack sometimes Jack, you know, he would have a little fun and his eyes would be red as fuck. And I was like, uh-oh, Jack looks like he's a little tooted up. What's going on? And he comes walking into the team meeting room with the Jaguars polo, like, all right, gentlemen, you know, I just want to say it's been an honor. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then, what's going on? And then they gave, who was our defensive coordinator that year? I forget.
Mel Tucker.
Mel Tucker.
Because then he came to Chicago when I was there.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He comes in. He's like, all right, man, it's a new day. It's a new day. We're like, motherfucker, it's the same day it was just 20 minutes ago. Joseph got fired. What the hell you mean?
And we're supposed to go practice now?
Yeah, what were we supposed to do? Go practice? All the media standing outside while we're getting ready to go to walk through. Everybody's just staring at us. I'm like, motherfucker, don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. I don't know nothing.
Wayne Weaver sold the team.
Wayne Weaver done sold the team to Shad Khan. Shad Khan bought the team with a personal check for $780 million. I'm like, holy shit. What a day.
We're about to go to Pakistan, bro.
We're about to become the London Jaguars.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, dude, that was an insane time at Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, man. It was crazy. You know, it's
wild.
wild.
The funny thing is, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's wild. You know, your experience right after getting out of football and my experience right after getting out of football are similar. And I think a lot of players deal with that same kind of situation. You kind of lose your identity. You kind of fall into kind of a hole within yourself. Like you don't really have any direction initially. Like I know for me, like, dude, it's weird, man. I had businesses running. I had, you know, things going on, but for like the first
parlor.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But for like the first 2.5 years, 3 years almost, like I don't even really remember so much of that time. It was a blur because I felt like I was just in a hole. You know, there was nothing that was really satisfying to me at all, you know. And it kind of spills out of you because, you know, you're in a bad mood majority of the time. You're like kind of just a downer all the time.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know what direction to go in after you get done playing ball. And, you know, you don't get any phone calls. You don't hear from anybody. You're like.
There's no checks coming in.
No checks coming in. You know, you're just trying to find a way to keep busy. But even in that, like nothing's really satisfying. You know what I mean? And you kind of, and you know, one of the things that like we talked before, one of the things that I found very interesting was, you know, you kind of go through that grieving process where, you know, you've lost a part of yourself died, and then you start trying to figure out how to reprogram yourself and how to reestablish some kind of link and connection to the world around you because, you know, you're for a while, I was just kind of, I was there, but I was separate from the world. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't very into anything that was going on. I had, you know, my emotions were kind of, you know, blank, kind of gone. And, you know, I know that, you know, you said, you know, a lot of weed smoking. I smoked a ton of weed, you know.
Thank God it was there. Thank God we had that plant, man.
I mean, it kept me mellow, man. It kept me in a little bit of a sedated state just because I was always in a little bit in a little bit of an irritable mood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about tell me a little bit about your experience once it was all over with, once it was all said and done.